Former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV has filed graft and plunder complaints against former President Rodrigo Duterte and Senator Bong Go before the Department of Justice on Friday, July 5. Trillanes alleges that Duterte and Go facilitated corrupt practices, specifically the awarding of more than 100 government contracts to companies owned by Go's father and brother worth at least 6.6 billion pesos.
Ginamit nila yung kanilang posisyon, authority at influence para mabigay at makorner yung mga proyekto. 184 government contracts ang inaward nila sa tatay at kapatid ni Bong Go, na ang total nga ay 6.6 billion pesos.
Aside from plunder, both Duterte and Go were also accused of violating Republic Act No. 3019 or the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act and Republic Act No. 6713 or the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. Based on the complaint, from 2007 to 2018, the companies of Go's father and brother allegedly received a total of 6.6 billion worth of contracts despite lacking the required contractor's license to undertake large-scale projects. INQUIRER.net has reached out to the camp of ex-President Duterte and Senator Go but has yet to receive a response. Despite being dwarfed by China Coast Guard's monster ship, the Philippine Coast Guard's biggest vessel still challenged its presence at Escoda Shoal in the West Philippine Sea. PCG spokesperson Rear Admiral Armand Balillo told INQUIRER.net on Thursday, July 4, that BRP Teresa Magbanwa on Wednesday, July 3, issued a radio challenge against the China Coast Guard vessel with hull number 5901. According to Balillo, despite BRP Teresa Magbanwa's radio challenge at 5 p.m. asking the Chinese ship to leave the waters off Escoda Shoal, the monster vessel still anchored there at 6 p.m. West Philippine Sea Monitor Ray Powell reported on Thursday that the giant China Coast Guard ship was spotted about 600 meters away from BRP Teresa Magbanwa. He said China's ship did not appear to come close to BRP Teresa Magbanwa but seemed to be there to observe and intimidate the PCG's ship. The PCG deployed BRP Teresa Magbanwa on April 16 amid suspected reclamation at Escoda Shoal, which falls 75 nautical miles from the coast of Palawan or well within the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone. The PCG recently drew the ire of its Chinese counterpart when it dispatched 3 vessels on Monday, July 1 to resupply Filipino troops stationed at Philippine-occupied features in the West Philippine Sea, including Escoda Shoal. Escoda Shoal also serves as the rendezvous point for Filipino vessels carrying out resupply missions at the Philippine Naval Outpost at Ayungin Shoal. China is defending its Coast Guard's actions during the June 17 confrontation with Philippine Navy personnel at Ayungin Shoal. This after the armed forces of the Philippines demanded China to pay 60 million pesos in damages for 2 Navy boats and return the 70 rifles seized by the China Coast Guard. In a press conference, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning accuses the Philippines of making provocations first and must bear the consequences of its actions.
非方非法运捕，挑衅在先，中方维权执法，正当合法，非方应当为其侵权行径承担后果。
On June 17, China Coast Guard personnel rammed, towed, and even boarded Philippine Navy boats during the resupply mission for the BRP Sierra Madre grounded in Ayungin Shoal. The incident resulted in 1 Philippine Navy personnel losing his finger. The resupply activity of BRP Sierra Madre has become one of the flashpoints of tension between Manila and Beijing. Beijing's actions are based on its assertion of sovereignty in almost the entire South China Sea, including most of the West Philippine Sea. China continues to reject a July 2016 arbitral award, which effectively dismissed its claims while ruling heavily in favor of Manila. Gilas Pilipinas overcame a horrendous start before settling for a 96-94 loss at the hands of Georgia and still locking a semi-final spot in the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament in Riga, Latvia. Gilas trailed by as many as 20 points before closing the gap on the world number 23 Georgia, which needed to win by 19 points to eliminate the Philippines and join host Latvia in the crossover knockout phase. The Nationals will face Brazil in the semi-final games on Saturday, July 6, with Gilas now just 2 wins away from a historic return to the Summer Olympic Games. Justin Brownlee finished with 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists to lead Gilas once again at Arena Riga on Thursday, July 4. Dwight Ramos and CJ Perez chipped in 16 and 14 points respectively, while Chris Newsome had 13 points. Georgia found itself in a bind in the semifinals hunt following an 83-55 beatdown at the hands of Latvia on July 3.